Hello and welcome to the video. The next installment of my 6-wide lineup is a shunter, the Hunslet Austerity 060 saddle tank. Designed to be modern, simple and easy to maintain, these engines were chosen by the War Department as the standard shunters for World War II. 484 were built between 1943 and 1964. This is the smallest LEGO engine that I've ever built. In fact, it's about the size of Tornado's tender. My model isn't based on any particular real-life example, although I did take inspiration for the livery from number 5272 Heilwen. However, in the early design stage, I plan to replicate 3806 Wilbert, named after the author of the Railway series. I think the bright green looks nice, and it adds a bit of colour to the engines, especially as my Tornado is wearing quite a drab grey. The saddle tank makes heavy use of studs not on top techniques, particularly on the sides and the dome, which is actually fitted upside down. The roof also has some interesting piece usage, making use of a road sign piece to achieve the half plate thickness representing the opening, a method I adopted from Pierce bricks. Moving to the front of the engine, the smoke box door is lined with a rubber O-ring, usually used in plumbing, which helps add a bit of definition and visual interest. This use of non-LEGO elements was influenced by the work of the skilled railway modelers at Model Railroad Academy, the sponsor of today's video. Model Railroad Academy is the best resource for railway modelers new and experienced, offering a vast library of step-by-step instructional videos, tips and tricks, and layout tours guided by experts in the hobby. Personally, I found many of the track detailing videos very useful in designing my future layout, specifically Martin Tenrote's video about forced perspective, something I haven't seen much of in LEGO form. Another great video for starters is Planning a Model Railroad with Josh Clark, where he outlines the steps to creating your own layout. Members of Model Railroad Academy gain access to hours worth of educational videos, articles and classes that will elevate your modelling skills and increase your enjoyment of the hobby. The first 1,000 people watching this video to use the link in my description will get a full year of premium membership to Model Railroad Academy for only $1.49. This offer is valid for new members only. Thank you to MRA for sponsoring this video. For some of the smaller details, I've used brackets to represent the step on the tanks, flex tube for the handrails, and crowbars for the valve gear under the boiler. Underneath the running board, you can see that I've used bucket handles for the ladders, along with the new side rod element from the Orient Express set. The wheels are from Big Ben Bricks, which is unfortunately now closed down, but I was able to stock up on some medium wheels while they were still open. The chassis is quite a fun one. The engine is powered using circuit cubes, and to make clearance for the large gear, I had to attach the center axle using thin Technic beams instead of Technic bricks. However, the wheels don't have any traction bands, which means the engine suffers from wheel slip when pulling more than one coach. To counter this, I've made the motor easily removable, allowing the engine to roll freely while being pushed by motorized rolling stock. I've used this method before with my old 8-wide engines, but I always found it annoying how I needed to hold on to the gear while it wasn't being used, so for this model I devised a solution. I've emptied out the cold bunker to have space for the gear, and that's where it's stored when not in use. I was a bit worried about the large overhang between the rear wheel set and the coal bunker, since I wasn't sure it would handle R40 radius curves while pulling a train. Luckily it works perfectly and can handle all types of track, including straights, curves and switches. And that's all for today. I'll leave you with some footage of my trains running, but before I do, please consider subscribing, liking or leaving a comment down below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!